At Time Photo Studio, the landlord, Xiaoling, informs Lu Guang and Cheng Xiaoshi about the task to get core financial data of Vicky Games Company before the third quarter financial report releases. The data is supervised by CFO, and only his assistant Emma will be the best chance to see the data. Lu Guang looks at the spring rolls picture taken by Emma the week before the updating of data. With his vision to see past and present, Lu Guang checks the picture, visualizes the past, and sees the only possible way to get the core data. After instructing Cheng Xiaoshi to follow his lead and change nothing in the past, he claps at his hand, and Cheng Xiaoshi dives into the photo. Inside the photo, in Emma's body, Cheng Xiaoshi keeps on track and follows the past going. Emma's boss, Mr. Zhu, calls her to his office and tries to assault her, but her parents call at the right time to save her. Emma's boss criticizes her for being on the call and reminds her to finish her work. Cheng Xiaoshi, in Emma's body, tired from all the work, when reaches home and rests, he receives a message on Emma's phone. Lu Guang instructs him to leave the message, but he still checks the phone and finds messages from Emma's parents, worried about her. The following day at the office, Cheng Xiaoshi, as Emma, does the office work and anxiously waits for the time when he will get the chance to see the data. The time arrives and Cheng Xiaoshi, as instructed by Lu Guang, throws the coffee on her boss. When Emma tries to clean Zhu's clothes, his lover arrives, and after accusing Emma of seducing her boyfriend, slaps her. Cheng Xiaoshi, enraged, tries to react, but he remains calm and receives another slap, which makes Emma fall and sees the company's data through Zhu's laptop. The mission completes and Vicky Games gets suspended due to the financial fraud data. Cheng Xiaoshi returns back and wonders about the consequences of changing the past. In the present, Emma, heartbroken by the incident, gets home and sees fresh rolls on the table. She checks her phone and goes through the messages she sent her parents last night, which in reality were sent by Cheng Xiaoshi. Overwhelmed, Emma rushes to the train station, calls her parent, and asks them to wait and not to leave without meeting her. While rushing, a stranger, seeing her in a hurry, offers a ride to her. After Cheng Xiaoshi goes, Lu Guang checks the news and comes to know about Emma's suicide. For the next task, Lu Guang and Cheng Xiaoshi have to get the special seasoning recipe. The owner of the chain restaurant Yuxia, after breaking up with her childhood friend and partner, Lin Zhen, wants their special noodles recipe, which Lin Zhen never revealed to her before. Before parting, Lin Zhen had hold of the kitchen, while Yu Qian managed the shop's finance and other things. Lu Guang and Cheng Xiaoshi go through Lin Zhen and Yuxia's pictures, but do not find any clue to begin with. They decide to begin from the start, and Cheng Xiaoshi dives into the picture as Yuxia on the first opening day of their noodles shop together. While taking the picture, Cheng Xiaoshi tries to find a clue in any picture, but he does not find any. After serving all day, Lin Zhen goes into the kitchen to make noodles, and with the intention of finding Lin Zhen's secret recipe, Yuxia also inspects her in the kitchen, but she fails to get any clue. Cheng Xiaoshi gets back and dives into another picture where girls work on the purchase list. After failing and diving again and again into multiple pictures, they remain clueless. Cheng Xiaoshi then decides to dive into the picture Lu Guang has been holding for a while. This time, Cheng Xiaoshi goes into the picture as Yuxia. He then gets to know the two friends break up their 10-year-old friendship and business, only because Yuxia wants to expand the business, but Lin Zhen wants to run just a little noodle shop. Both do not agree with each other and go on their separate routes. On her way home, Cheng Xiaoshi checks tickets from Lin Zhen's bag, and finally learns that she used to go to Xiangjuan to collect fragrant flowers, which she uses as noodle seasoning. Qiaoling gives the information to Yuxia, but soon Yuxia realizes her mistake, goes back to Lin Zhen's hometown, and reunites with her childhood friend. In the morning, a new client named Chen Xiao approaches Qiaoling and Lu Guang after hearing of the boys entering the picture. He has some regrets and wants them to resolve these regrets for him. Chen Xiao hands them a picture of his school basketball team. Back then, he was the bench player and also the photographer. Moreover, the picture is important to him because he lost this match, and as a consequence, quarreled with his mother. Cheng Xiaoshi dives into the picture as Chen Xiao. As the team's photographer, he sits on the bench and clicks the photo but forgets to turn off the flash. Flash distracts the team captain, Lu Hongbing, and he injures his knee. It changes the past event, and as a substitute, Chen Xiao goes to play the game. In the beginning, Cheng Xiao plays great and brings scores for the team, but in order to make the team lose and prevent the past from changing, he begins playing dumb. At rest, when the coach informs him that the match is the only hope to save this basketball court for the school, Cheng Xiaoshi decides to play again. Lu Guang keeps on telling him to stop, but Cheng Xiaoshi, in his full will, plays the game and ultimately alters the past timeline by bringing victory for the team. According to the past, Chen Xiao's team must lose the match, but as he changed the time lap, he became anxious about the consequences. Other team members, overwhelmed by the victory, try to praise Chen Xiao, but he rudely knocks them off and does not understand what to do. Chen Xiaoshi also tries to contact Lu Guang, but when Lu Guang does not respond back, he decides to leave the photo. Just then, Lu Guang responds and makes him relax by stating that the past has not yet changed. The coach informs Chen Xiao that the school has already decided to take the court down, and even the team's victory is not enough to convince them. Cheng Xiaoshi relieves of not changing the past, worries at the same time about his team members who believe that their victory has saved their basketball court. With a deep heart, he gathers courage and clicks his team's photo to remember the moment they are enjoying for saving their dream. Chen Xiao drops the injured Lu Hongbing at his home and also meets Lu Hongbing's sister and his lover, Liu Meng. Chen Xiao and Liu Meng spend some happy time together and become friends. He then goes home and has dinner with his mother. While having dinner, he fights with his mother about leaving the house and going to the city, but it makes his mother cry. Lu Guang informs the consequences will not change, even if he stops fighting. Cheng Xiaoshi stops fighting and talks with his mother to make her feel happy. After finishing dinner, his mother serves him noodles to celebrate his father's birthday, even though he is not home. Cheng Xiaoshi suddenly recalls today was the day when his parents were expected to be the dead cause of the earthquake. Lu Guang wants him to skip the picture by nodding differently, which will not change the results even after changing some of the past moments. Cheng Xiaoshi disobeys and leaves the house to save his parents, but gets stopped by Lu Guang, who believes that death is something that cannot be changed. Cheng Xiaoshi does not listen to Lu Guang and tries to inform Lu Hongbing about the earthquake, but no one listens to him, which makes him feel miserable. He then pledges Lu Guang to save Chen Xiao's mother at least. Lu Guang agrees, and Chen Xiao rushes home and takes his mother to hide under the dining table as instructed by Lu Guang. The earthquake comes, and even after the struggle, he fails to save his mother. Sorrowfully, he leaves the picture and questions Lu Guang about not telling him the right thing to save his mother. Lu Guang explains he does not save her to prevent past outcomes. It enrages Cheng Xiaoshi, and he punches Lu Guang. Lu Guang gives him sympathy and helps him come out of the depression. Chen Xiao with his father visits his mother's grave, where his father returns him the camera he found after the earthquake in his house ruins. Chen Xiao brings the camera to Cheng Xiaoshi for repair, and while restoring the pictures, it becomes clear to him that his past actions remove all his regrets. The following day, Xiaoling gives the boys the details of the next task, in which they have to find the martial art trick for Liu Suan, which his lover's father uses to defeat him. His lover's father will not let his daughter marry him if he does not defeat him in martial arts. Cheng Xiaoshi dives into the picture as Liu Suan and, sitting with his lover, recalls the time he tried to challenge her father but failed. Before leaving, she informs him that Senior asked for her hand from her father, which means he has left minimum chances to defeat her father. Liu reaches to fight with her father again, but even after trying hard, he fails to escape her father's trick move and is defeated. Cheng Xiaoshi leaves the picture and learns from Xiaoling that Liu is Xiaoling's dojo head, and an old man who keeps on trying to defeat his lover's father for many years but never succeeds. Liu at this age goes to fight for his lover again, and Xiaoling and the boys accompany him in his sympathy. Liu runs to fight but falls to the ground because of his age. Senior, not being able to defeat him, surrendered a long time ago. After seeing Liu's passion, his lover's father surrenders and lets the lovers stay happy for the rest of their life. Cheng Xiaoshi and Lu Guang decide to take a break from going back into the past, but keep on running the Photoshop studio. A policeman enters the shop and wants their help in a case, but they refuse. Just then, a broken father enters and requests them to go back in the past and find his son, Dudu, who got lost 3 years ago in front of their coffee shop. Cheng Xiaoshi denies, saying even if they go, they cannot change it. Xiaoling informs Cheng Xiaoshi that when Dudu was kidnapped, she watched him go with another guy. She pledges to Cheng Xiaoshi to help her escape her regret by helping the man. Cheng Xiaoshi agrees and dives into the picture as himself. He keeps an eye on Dudu, but gets distracted, and the stranger takes Dudu away. Cheng Xiaoshi follows the stranger with the help of Lu Guang's vision, but still loses the stranger. Cheng Xiaoshi returns, and they all go to Dudu's parents' home. They ask Dudu's father to show them some pictures which bring any clues. While going through Dudu's father's phone, they find a picture taken by Dudu on the incident day. Since Cheng Xiaoshi enters the picture as the person who takes the picture, he dives into the photo as Dudu. Just then, a woman approaches him and trickfully drugs him to take him away. When he regains consciousness, he searches the room and finds himself in another city. He also goes to the woman's identity card, but then the woman wakes up and tries to beat him. He speaks to punish her soon, and the woman considers Dudu's words as her ancestors' spirits saying. Through the woman's identity card number, police track her down and recover Dudu to reunite the family. The woman claims to be a nice person in the last 3 years because her ancestors' spirits talk to her through Dudu. The policeman then wants them to solve another big case. When Lu Guang goes through the case's picture, He remains stunned to see the case is of Emma's suicide. Before Cheng Xiaoshi sees Emma's picture, Lu Guang puts it back and brings another one. The Time Photo Studio gang's friend Su Shanshan asks for help figuring out what her close friend and possible love interest Dong Ye said to her just before she passed out from alcohol. As Cheng Xiaoshi hears what Dong said, he spots a man approaching Su's friend. Cheng Xiaoshi pursues the man into an alley because he thinks he might be the serial killer he saw in the police chief's photo. It was not the serial killer but a man Su had just rejected. Currently, Lu Guang texts Shu about what Dong said to her, and the group receives a strange text message in response. They contact Shu out of the concern and are shocked to hear a strange man's voice saying he showed up as promised. Lu Guang goes to the police because he thinks the strange man on the phone call is the murderer. Lu Guang then checks the CCTV photo of the killer and finds the killer's license plate. When Lu Guang spots Cheng Xiaoshi in the picture, he understands Cheng Xiaoshi had entered by himself. Police visit the key suspect and vehicle owner, Liu Min, and find him paraplegic. The fact that Liu Min is in the hospital gives the criminal an explanation. In the picture, Cheng Xiaoshi enters the trunk of Liu Min's car. As Liu and Emma enter, Liu drives to a remote area, where he starts strangling Emma while yelling her name. When Cheng Xiaoshi heard this name, he recognized that his acts as Emma had altered her destiny and brought her to this particular time and place where she would be killed. Cheng Xiaoshi screams in pain, and just as Liu Min is ready to open the trunk, Cheng Xiaoshi leaves the picture and returns to the Time Photo Studio in front of Lu Guang and Xiaoling. Cheng, who has suffered, admits that he made no changes and understands the pointlessness of his efforts as Emma. The police report Lu Guang, Liu's injury, and also state that Emma could not have been murdered, because CCTV shows her going by herself across a bridge. When Cheng Xiaoshi finds a picture of Shu taken prior to her abduction, Lu Guang notices that something bad has occurred to her, and Cheng Xiaoshi mentally braces himself for what might occur if he enters the picture. Dong Lai is presently waiting for Shu to join him for a talk. Cheng Xiaoshi enters the picture at the Time Photo Studio and later at night captures the murderer. In the present at night, the same attacker breaks into Time Photo Studio. In synchrony, Cheng Xiaoshi intervenes to prevent the attacker from killing Shu, and Lu Guang rushes to the development room to capture and restrain the attacker. After striking a deal with the attacker in the photograph, Cheng Xiaoshi leaves the past and reappears with the attacker in the development room. Cheng Xiaoshi fights with the attacker to see his masked face, as well as to provoke him to accept his crime. As soon as he removes the mask of the attacker, he comes out to be Liu. Liu accepts his crime, and as planned by Lu Guang and Cheng Xiaoshi, police standing out of the room hears it and arrests him on the proof. Cheng Xiaoshi receives Emma's surveillance photo from Inspector Chen, and Lu Guang sees through it. When the police ask Liu about Emma's murder, he claims it to be an accident. When he tried to strangle her, he heard a scream from the car's trunk. He opens the trunk but finds nothing. However, it frightens him, and he decides to take the unconscious Emma to the hospital. On the way, Emma regains consciousness and struggles with Liu to escape. In the effort, the car meets the accident, making Liu to injure his leg. After meeting the accident, Emma moans about her life and decides to commit suicide. Before she jumps off the bridge, Cheng Xiaoshi stops her. Cheng Xiaoshi reveals his identity as a past viewer to her and guarantees her to correct everything. Emma overthrows the idea of suicide, but when she tries to return back, her eyes turn red and another spirit speaks out of her. Liu's eyes also turn eye, and despite his injury, he gets up to commit the crime again. As soon as Lu Guang realizes the real culprit is not Liu, but anybody else, Xiaoling, also with red eyes, attacks him with a knife. At the same time, Emma jumps off the bridge, and Cheng Xiaoshi, astonished, returns back, just to see Emma with Lu Guang's blood. It appears beside them there was another person with power who takes over bodies. Possessed Emma taunts Cheng Xiaoshi and informs him that the game has been reset.